Good afternoon, everyone. This is Pradeep, Ambassador of Change from GETI, the Global Education and Training Institute of Lucknow. And we are the premier institution for training principals and teachers all over India and the world. We have many in-service and pre-service programs. And for more information on these, please go to 7408401000. Right now, you're on a disruptive education platform provided to us by our mentor, Dr. Sunita Gandhi. And on this platform, we have met with and interacted with more than 1,450 educators from India and all over the world. And today, we have for you Dr. Mohammad Naquibur Rahman. He's an associate professor in the Al Qura University of Mecca, Saudi Arabia, and he is in the Department of Marketing, the College of Business, again at the same university. He has an experience of 8 years in the corporate world and 13 years of teaching. He is a BA, LLB, an MBA, and a PhD, the PhD from the Maghad University, all from India. So he has a great India connection. And he confidently makes a strong communication with students while delivering a lecture and connects the whole classroom, citing day-to-day live examples of marketing and advertising, keeping in view and making the class more interesting. Furthermore, in order to motivate and encourage students to participate in in-class discussions and to help them out and learn the value of teamwork so that in the future they are able to face the high, intense, and global market challenges. His research experiences are concerned with advertising and marketing, and he has interest in contributing to a deeper understanding of consumer needs. The majority of his current research applies in marketing and the different experiments which take place to know the insights from classical and behavioral retail consumerism in context of the economic development in Saudi Arabia. He has published numerous research papers in international journals, and his research interests are advertising management, business practices, consumer behavior, and retail management. He will be talking to us today on or giving us tips for a successful career. So, good afternoon, sir. Thank you for being with us, and over to you, sir. Sir, over to you, sir. Please take over.
First of all, thank you very much, Mr. Pradeep Mal. You have invited me to talk on the how to get success at your. Yeah, much platform of. So first of all, we need to understand that the new managers or those who are supposed to join in a near future or to start their career, they need to understand the business landscape, market competition, and working style. So the business landscape has changed dramatically since last 10 years, and the new challenges are one of the factor behind expansion of global market. So it can be seen very clearly in Asia and Gulf countries. The market competition is very high, and the new trends are entering into the market. That's why the business landscape needs to understand very well. Nowadays, there is the era of globalization. The boundary of nations are melting away, and the world has become a global village. So therefore, it can be said that the globalization is inter-border exchanging of goods, services, technology, and people and values. The managers or the young people, they wanted to enter into the job market. They need to understand the market competition, and the competition is very high. That's why it is necessary to understand the actual market competition. The young generation is on very critical turning point to pave their future and applying talent and excel their skills to achieve their targeted goals of career. Keeping in view of the high market competition, it is really need to understand and what are the actual market competition. The third thing is the working style. There is no iota of doubt that the business and working style has been influenced by COVID-19 since last past 2 years. The many factors have were affected, suffered due to COVID-19, which may have a long-term impact on the ability of business institutions to attract new opportunities, sales volumes, and their profitability. So now I am coming on the point. Could you hear me, sir? Mr. Pradeep Mal?
Yes, sir, I can hear you. Please carry on.
Okay, sure. Thank you very much. So now I'm coming on the point. The basic point is uh, the today's topic of my discussion is how to manage success at work, or you can say how to manage our jobs. So this is the main topic. Now I'm coming on the topic. So now today I'm going to discuss there is a 5 points in order to manage success at work. There is a 5 points need to understand by each manager. Number one, self management, key effectiveness and efficiency, setting objectives, motivation, working with confidence. So these are the 5 KPIs need to understand well, and accordingly they have to start their work. So we know very well self management is probably more difficult, but what I suggest to the young managers, they they should not wait for supervising someone or some instructions are coming from the higher management. They must start by they have to take initiative in their task or whatever it is assigned to him. So self management is probably more difficult than manage to supervising someone else, where feedback coming from various sources can keep you on track, updated and motivated. But the self management is quite comfortable and more perfect. The next point, in order to self management, when a manager or when a young person they join for the job, first of all they must understand what is their job description. So they must understand what is the job description, and managers need to understand exactly what performance expected by organizational head in a specific job assignment. So here it is need to understand the job description very well. In addition, the managers need to know what is expected task, targeted goals to be achieved during a given time period by the organization. So here there are two things are most important. Need to understand job description very well, and what performance is expected from the organization and what task you have to be achieved within a given time frame by the organization. The third thing is we need to understand well. So as I wanted to just suggest to all managers, they have to go for a SWOT analysis, SWOT. So so S stand for strength, V for threats. So here it is need to focus on your strength. You have to identify, the young managers must identify their strength and focus on your strengths. The second point is weaknesses. The young managers, they must identify their weaknesses, and what if they identify their weaknesses, they have to come out from there, they have to go on some improvement corrections or something like that. The third point is find out the opportunities. When they join the organization, they are keep eyes on your strength and weaknesses. Then they have to think about where is the opportunities, or find out the opportunities where they can do best. And lastly is, what are the threats? So when they are joining a new organization or in a current organization, they must analyze, or they must go for a SWOT analysis. They have to identify their strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So that's most important. So success can be grabbed by the following characteristics. So the main issue is how to manage our success at work. So success can be achieved on three KPIs. Number one, knowledge. Two, skills. And three, exercise influence your skills. So success can be grabbed by the following characteristics. So the managers, they must understand what kind of product they are handling. So it is required the product knowledge of competition, and face-to-face selling skills. And so first of all, they must understand the what product they are handling, or they required to understand the product knowledge. Also at the same time, competition product knowledge and face-to-face selling, or you can say the dealing or negotiation skills. Recognize that the skills required to service an account are different from those required to make a sale. So whatever we are selling the product, we must understand, we must know what skills are required to sell this product. And number three, exercise the influence skill needed to work both internal staff and customers. So that's equally most important. Exercise the influences skills. What is exactly needed to work with both internal staff, or you can say with the market. There is a two word is we are in marketing, we are using very commonly, that is effectiveness and efficiency. So for a great success, a manager must be effective and must be efficient. Must be efficient. So effectiveness refers to results oriented and focus on achieving goals with time management. Efficiency is cost oriented and focuses on making the best possible use of the employees' time, their efforts. Again, I'm repeating. So the success is coming on the basis of effectiveness and efficiency. So a manager must be effective and efficient. Effectiveness with reference to the time management. If a task must be completed within a time frame, that is effectiveness, that's showing effectiveness. And efficiency reference to cost oriented and focus on making the best possible use of employees time and their efforts. So once a manager have yani effectiveness and efficiency, then he will get a success. Yani we can add E1 plus E2, E1 effectiveness, E2 efficiency, then it equal to success. So it is required in a manager, it's required if he effectiveness and efficiency both. The third most important thing, setting objectives. So the managers must plan long-term objectives that would be benefited for the organizational team and the individual in the long run. What is happening? Setting objective is an art. So what happened? The managers, they are setting their objectives for their own any comfortability. No, what my advice is, when the managers they are setting their objectives, they must set long-term objectives. So, for example, I can tell you one manager, they are supposed to going by 6 months. They are leaving the organization, but he should not set the objective for 6 months. They must set the plans for long-term plans. Furthermore, managers are advised that always plan with a clear strategies that balance both the levels in terms of growth of business, profit, and duration of time. So when they are setting their objective, they when they are setting objectives at the same time, they have to set up. They must set a clear strategies how to achieve these objectives. So in terms of setting objectives, they must follow the SMART planning or SMART objectives. So SMART is a very good terminology in terms of setting objectives and plans. So S for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for realistic, and T for team bound. So So when they are setting their objective, they must set a SMART objective. So that objective must be specific. That objective must be measurable. We can measure our objective. That objective must be achievable in the market, must be realistic objective, and we can achieve in a specific time bound. So this is very much important. Some people they set their objective which is not clear. So its objective must be very clear. That must be measurable and achievable. It must be realistic. That objective must be real objective, can be achieved and within a time frame. So on top of that, what we are achieving our object, what we are setting our objective or planning our objective, whatever it is. So when we are planning very smart plans or smart objectives, but to implement these plans, it is required a team. So without team, it is very hard to implement or get the results very quickly. So if you have a well-defined team, it's okay. Otherwise, manager they have they have to develop their own team, because the team and its member are everything in the organization. Whatever we are planning, very great plans, but when we but um, okay. So when we have when we have planned very smartly plans, but once to implement those plans, it is required to implement. It is required a team to implement the whole plans. So, so once we have a great team, we can achieve any target, any any task. But when we have a weak team or a low team, low morale team, it is very difficult to achieve the goals. In order to keep team happy and motivated, all the team members must be recognized, appreciated for their contribution and hard works. So in order to the team happy and motivated, all the team members, they must be recognized, appreciated for their contributions and for their hard works. Furthermore, it is important to mention here that focus on persuasion. So persuade to team to follow the performance with purpose. So we have to keep in our mind our performance always with purpose. So in order to focus on persuasion, we must focus budget and target, KPIs, key performance indicators, objectives and goals. So when we are working in the organization, or when we are working to achieve some goals or targets in the organization, or we are working uh, very closely to achieve the organizational goal, in such a situation there are very few critics will come. So forget about all the critics, on focus on the quality works only. So in the organization, few people are there, they will pass some comments, they are say why this, why that, it's not happened, whatever it is happening. Forget about all critics and focus on the quality works only. So in terms of performance with manager, so a manager must work, manager must need a vision. So therefore, it can be said that a vision that help managers to scale new heights of quality, and also that motivates team to give their best output. So always keep in mind the managers need a vision, and when they are working on that, the performance must be with a great purpose. Furthermore, it can be said that, so in the organization there is different kinds of instruction or comments will come uh, from, sometime it is coming from instructions coming from the higher management, or comments from coming from the colleagues and all. So whatever instructions are coming from higher management, always we should take in a positive manner. The reason we have two ears and one mouth is because we should listen more than we blurt things out. So there is a proverb I can say, we have to learn from our mistakes. Always keep learning. So in order to get success at work or managing our success, we always keep we must keep on learnings. So managers always must keep learning, that ever you are holding a position like a dean, professor, country manager, regional manager, sales manager or CEO of a company, when you will keep learning things that do not fall in expertise, and you will always be updated. So it is most important, we must we must always keep on learnings. Whatever we are position, we are holding a general manager position, but we have to update our learnings, or we have to keep learning things always. There is a communication is also very important in getting success at work. So our communication must be very clear. We must communicate with, in the organization, with everyone. So the managers are advised to talk to your employees. Managers are advised to talk your employees, staff, customers, field sales supervisors, and all employees, in order to get as much as correct information from as many sources to be updated well. So whatever it is, we in the organization, we have to communicate with everyone, either in from the field sales force or market or consumers. That is these are the sources of getting feedback or information. What is happening in the organization, you must be aware from, so that you can take actions very quickly, or you may take some corrections. So when you have a communication, you will get information, or you will get feedbacks, so that if you require to do some corrections or take action, that only be possible when you have a right feedback. Motivations. So I am motivated if I know that someone actually cares about me and what I'm doing. So that motivation is required. Without motivation, it is nothing going to be happen. So motivation is very important for attracting employees, retaining employees, and general levels of productivity in business. Motivated employees are more likely to be willing to work rather than staying off. So there is a one great question: how to motivate yourself. So whatever you are holding a position in your organization, forget all these things. When you came to interact with your family and friends, forget about what position you are holding in the organization. Either you are a general manager or a regional manager or CEO of the company. No matter how higher your position is at work, you should not feel that you are boss at home. Interact. In fact, motivation is coming from the peace of mind. So always we must interact very coolly in family and with friends. There are 10 tips to achieve success at work in a short term. Number one, understand your employer expectation. As I started in the first slide, that the managers who must understand what are the expectations of employer. So you have to make in your consideration, make sure uh, you understand your company work culture, you culturally fit with the organization, and your working relationship with the supervisors or manager are very important. Make sure you are familiar with the values of company so that you can demonstrate them effectively. Always having positive mindset. So if any instructions are coming from the higher management or from your immediate boss, you must be positive, and uh, you have to take as a in a positive manner, and you have to act according to the instruction. Be a team player. What I would like to suggest, rather than being a team member, you have to be a team player. Those willing to set aside their personal goals or overall goals of the department or company are valued by organization. Team players get noticed and often advance faster than those with a more self-centered approach. Willingness to take initiative on challenging tasks. So in the organization, the managers must be in position to take initiative in any new task or any challenging task. Build interpersonal relationship. That relationship in the workplace are with the interactions with the colleagues. When you are effective relationship with the other professionals and team members, you are more likely to enjoy your day-to-day life. Building relationship in the workplace is also important for career success. That's also most important. Creates a positive environment inside the organization. So whenever you can working with your subordinates or with the uh, uh, your seniors, you must be a deep, you must be an opportunity to develop a close working relationship in order to develop a positive environment that will that will give a chance to understand the organizational environment, so that will be easy to get success in your work. Keep your personal life private. So don't mix professional and personal life at work. So what I would like to suggest to the managers, they keep personal life separate uh, from the professional life. Be careful We are in the technology age, so we should be very careful and try to avoid your personal things on company email and social media page. Be on time. So the managers are advised. Most employers are prepared to be flexible. Each environment has to its own rules on time taking. So finally, if you are on time, that is giving a good feedback about you, and that is a main. Uh, it is a part of KPIs in managing your success at work. Meet deadlines. Keep your word. Always meet deadlines. If you miss a deadline, it may have a knock-on effect throughout company. Talk to your boss for ahead a deadline if you believe that you would not be able to complete an assigned task on time. So what is required, what is important here, whatever task the managers are getting from the management, and what is the deadline for the submission or the achievement, you must meet the deadlines with the completed task. So the last word is work with confidence. So whatever you have your own smart planning, implement in the organization with implementation in organizational work with full confidence. So whatever you have prepared your smart planning, so that is most important is the implementation part of the plan. So whatever you have your planning, or you prepare your plan for the organization, implement the plan with your team with full confidence. Thank you very much. This is my last slide.
Thank you, sir, for that very, very clear talk. There's a question from Ali Raza. Uh,
Okay.
uh, he says that if a team is lazy or not giving attention to their work, so should the manager adopt an autocratic style of leadership?
So this is what I suggest. Those managers, they don't have a team, the proper team. They must develop their own team. They must develop what pace is required to achieve the targeted goal. They must develop their own team according to the task.
Right, sir. So thank you very much for a very, very clear talk on your tips to successful careers. Anybody listening in, I'm sure, will derive great value from this. So thank you, Dr. Mohammad Naquibur Rahman, sir. And before we leave, uh, I request all of you to watch our detox from our disruptive literacy movement by Global Dream, which is an initiative by Dr. Sunita Gandhi since 2014. The whole idea is to ensure everyone's participation by a people's movement in ensuring uh, foundational literacy and numeracy for all our
Okay.
brothers and sisters in India, and each one teach one, and those of us who can teach more than one should be doing so with great pride to bridge this divide between the haves and the have-nots, so that they have some kind of value in life because they are able to read and calculate.
And thank you very
We have
much.
several talks.
Yeah.
So we have several talks on this every day. So for more information on the talks that you would like to tune into, please go to 740-840-1000. So thank you, Dr. Saab. And uh, good afternoon, everybody. See you again tomorrow. Thank you, Dr. Saab.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. I'm really feeling very delighted to join this
Thank you, sir. Very kind of you.